Get a load of this guy. He had a little too much to drink, but still thought he could make it home. On the way, he managed to not see a red light and hit my car broadside. He killed me, and he's lucky to be alive. He lost his job and only gets to see his family once a week. And even when he does get out of here, I will be with him for the rest of his life.
Every day, the men and women of the Houston Police Department risk their lives to keep the people of this city safe. And one of the greatest dangers they face is traffic crime. According to FBI statistics, traffic crashes claim the lives of more police officers than any other cause of death in the line of duty. And across the United States, an average of more than 40,000 people per year are killed in traffic collisions. There's a traffic fatality every 12 minutes. And a traffic injury is reported every 12 seconds. And virtually all of these accidents are caused by a driver breaking the law, committing a crime. Think about that next time you see one of these signs. We've all been there. The light turns green, and just before you pull out, a car comes speeding across your path. You breathe a sigh of relief, and then you get angry that the other driver could have killed you and there was no cop there to give him a ticket. Well, if that happens at many of the most dangerous intersections in Houston, that motorist would get a ticket, thanks to Houston's red light camera program known as DARLEP.
Because if you have a driver that is being irresponsible and he runs that red light, not only is he jeopardizing himself, he's jeopardizing the lives of other people. And he's jeopardizing not only the lives of the other driver, that driver may have his family in the car, there's children in the car.
We call it T-boned. I'm talking about T-bone wrecks. I'm not talking about rollovers, head-on, strictly T-bones. I mean, they're a bad deal. The others are bad too, but then we're specifically talking about running red lights, and that's what I'm talking about. Pelvic fractures are devastating. You can bleed to death from it. You can become paralyzed from it. You can get bad chest injuries in the same event, or even head injuries. It's a horrible injury.
I don't think anybody, including the public, realizes the amount of force generated in a crash, an accident. What may seem like a minor accident could actually probably cause turn into a major injury.
We have Metro Police everywhere that can actually give the people tickets. And like I said, there's other circumstances. When you have like bumper to bumper traffic, sometimes there's a reason that you're in the intersection. And I think that if there was a cop there actually watching it, instead of just watching the little video camera and seeing somebody in the intersection, if they knew the actual situation, maybe it wouldn't be so difficult.
But trying to have cops present at every dangerous intersection is a very inefficient use of police manpower. And hiring more officers isn't an option. And even if the city could afford an unlimited supply, they would be better used on issues requiring more expertise than issuing traffic tickets. Plus, traffic stops can cause more traffic congestion, and they can be dangerous for the cop and motorist.
We don't have the staffing or resources to place officers at every intersection where there's a traffic signal. So we have to use technology as a force multiplier and try to correct behavior. And we want people to observe stop signs, red lights, all of those traffic signals as if a police officer was at the intersections.
Enter the DARLEP program, an automatic system that can be on the job 24/7. It leverages inexpensive technology to maximize police manpower and catches more violators per dollar spent.
Instead of having an officer sit and monitor that intersection and have to use manpower to issue citations for red light violations, we can do that here from the office. We don't have to have a police officer in a patrol car on the street.
Now, that's not saying that enforcement is still not needed one-on-one with officers out there, but this is a tool, and I believe it's a added benefit to the city and to officers out there to assist them to enforce the law for red light runners.
Simply put, it takes a picture of every vehicle that runs the red light, recording its license number.
But I've also heard that they actually, when it takes a picture of you, it doesn't just mean by default that you're going to get a ticket. They actually look at it and see what it is, the offense that you did before they send you a ticket. And as long as they do that, I think it's all right.
She's right. Contrary to popular belief, the photos are carefully reviewed by experienced traffic cops, just as if they were present on the scene during the offense.
Real Houston police officers make that decision, and we determine whether this is an acceptable violation or we reject it.
The officer will review 2 still photos. The first one of the vehicle before crossing the stop line, the second one after they've crossed the stop line. Also attached to that is a 12-second video which the officer will review to see if the violation occurred.
So, if you get a citation in the mail, you can rest assured the video of your case has been reviewed carefully. If you've never received one, you may not be aware that the still photo sent with the citation is just part of a video sequence showing the vehicle's entire movement through the intersection. And offenders are encouraged to watch it as many times as they want. That's why it's available online 24 hours a day, but accessible only with an individual passcode sent with the citation.
You don't have to pay anything if you don't run the red light. It's as simple as that. If we collected no money and no one ran the red light, we would be totally satisfied with that, because we know that if you don't run the red light, then you haven't endangered yourself or others.
I don't think it's a money grab. It is for safety, like I said, from what I see, is something that's needed, because we have people that run red lights all the time.
The reason that we are here is hopefully that through this we could change the mindset of the drivers out there, because intersection accidents are so dangerous.
If you don't want to pay a fine for running a red light, then clearly you have a choice and free will. You don't run the red light.
Are we going to let money be the force that stop us from doing the common sense thing when it comes to saving lives? It's all about safety.
Basically, this is different from a normal traffic ticket because this is a civil ticket and not a criminal ticket. If a police officer observes you running a red light, then that's a Class C misdemeanor. It's a criminal offense. If the camera catches you running the red light, it's a civil offense. They will receive the violation in the mail. It's a $75 violation. It does not go on their driving record. Running a red light is going to be, what, $250, $300 if a police officer catches you, depending on the jurisdiction. Then if you want to get out of it, then you either have to pay defensive driving, you have to go pay $200, $300 for deferred adjudication fees, or you pay your ticket, in which case your car insurance goes up. It gives an opportunity also to have a hearing if they want to dispute the violation. And if the hearing goes against you, then there's a limited appeal that you can appeal actually to a misdemeanor court for that matter.
The great news is DARLEP is working. The number of collisions is dropping. Our streets are safer.
I go out to meetings and I have met with the public, and I have had people come up to me and tell me that they're happy that the cameras are there. They are very happy that they're there, and they hope they stay, and they hope we can actually put more cameras up.
If it will help prevent injuries, I think it's worthwhile. Remember, all injuries are preventable. It's the only totally preventable disease.
There's absolutely too many lives that have been lost because somebody failed to just take an extra, second to put their foot on the brake and come to a stop at that red light. Lives lost that could have easily have been avoided.
I ran through a red light and didn't realize I was going to get a citation in the mail. So when I got a citation in the mail, of course I got upset. But then when I looked at it, I looked at the bigger picture. In running that light, I was distracted. And if I had not been distracted, I would not have ran that light. If I ran that light being distracted and a vehicle or some person had been walking, think about the trouble I would be in then. So that's a bigger picture to this.
I've actually gotten a ticket from that when I used to live on the northwest side of town at the 249-1960 intersection. In certain situations like that, I think there needs to be a camera there because there's accidents there with fatalities like at least once a month.
She's right about that intersection. It's one of the more dangerous in Houston, but since it's been monitored, it's getting steadily safer.
I see the picture of too many people running red lights and people are injured from it, and it's just not right.
It would be a really scary thought to lose a loved one or have a bad accident and yourself or your family or your friends. So it's definitely good to practice safe driving, and I think everyone should do that. It's very important because it's very momentary when something happens, and sometimes it can be irrevocable. So
I think it's a good program because it tends to make people be mindful of what they're doing.
If I have to pay a fine, if that fine, paying that fine has been because of a camera saving somebody's life, I'll take that.
It was my birthday. It's supposed to be a party. We were all going to dinner and this lady just came out of nowhere and hit us. It was my birthday. It was my last birthday.
I think it has.
I've seen a drop in some of the intersections.
Maybe something will change their concept and their mindset about what they did, and maybe they won't do it again. And if we can get that idea rolling among more drivers, and I think it will be a greater benefit to the public as time progresses.
How many lives does this program have to save to be a success? Yours, mine, our children, our friends or neighbors? The DARLEP program is saving lives. And that's what the men and women of the Houston Police Department are all about.